As was noted by Jung and others, a small number of each individual's dreams go beyond the personal into the archetypal. Such dreams, coming from a deep layer of the psyche, may contain fairy tale or mythological elements that carry a collective meaning, with value extending beyond the individual dreamer to others within a cultural moment. The theme, unearthing the fragmented feminine, brought to my mind a dream I had on my 49th birthday, just 3 weeks after Donald Trump's first inauguration and the turmoil around the enactment of his America First policies, as well as, by contrast, worldwide demonstrations of protest and resistance coinciding with the massive Women's March in Washington, D.C. As I became focused on figuring out a topic for this presentation in November 2024, Trump won again. This dream pressed even more forward into my consciousness as a fairy tale-like story to share, one that seems to me to have a message not only for me personally, but for the collective. Here is the dream, told as fairy tale, with illustrations created using AI. Once upon a time, on the day his only child, a daughter, was born, an extremely wealthy man received word that his workmen had uncovered a cache of smooth, round, small beach stones of many colors and patterns, grouped by the thousands. The men called their boss to the site to show him their discovery. When he arrived, the man became transfixed by the beauty of these stones. He felt an incredible desire to possess and control them, and he ordered his workers to gather every last stone into white linen bags and move them to a secret underground cave on his property. These stones, he said, would be his daughter's birthright. The discovery and confiscation of this cache of stones only piqued the man's desire for more. He ordered his crew to continue to search for other stone caches throughout the land. Over the years, as his daughter grew, they found many. Each time, he ordered them to be bagged up and moved to his secret underground location. The man's daughter grew up hearing her father's stories about the stones and how he was collecting them and stowing them away for her. She adored her father and took for granted that his actions were generous and showed how much he loved her. His stories were so vivid to her that she never thought to actually ask to see the stones, and he never offered to show her. The day the daughter turned 18, her father learned that his men had found another stone site. For the first time, he invited his daughter to come see what he was doing for her. As they approached the site, the men stopped working. They watched as their boss proudly showed his daughter the bags and bags of stones and the place in the earth where they were being removed. The daughter ran her hands over a wall of stones still packed tight in the cutout earth, touching their smooth, wet, cold surfaces and admiring their varied colors and shapes. They were undeniably beautiful, but now, seeing them for the first time, she wondered what she was supposed to do with them. What were they for? May I take a handful with me? She asked her father. To her surprise, he became cold and angry. No, he said sharply. They must all be bagged up and stowed away in my cave. When he saw her shocked expression, he added, I'm doing this for you, don't you see? The young woman was stunned and confused. She now saw disapproval, concern, even disgust on the faces of her father's workers. His foreman stepped forward, perhaps emboldened by the daughter's questioning. He warned of a cave-in in the earth if they continued to remove these stones, reminding his boss of the destruction they left behind each time they excavated these caches. Her father berated the foreman. They must obey him and remove every last stone, he told the workers. The cave-ins were of no concern to him. The foreman replied quietly that the cave-ins affected each community where they dug. The father scoffed at this notion. The girl now felt moved to question him more herself. How can you not care about causing harm, father? And how can you say these stones are for me if I can't even take a small handful? He ignored her questions and turned away from her. With his back turned, the young woman grabbed a handful and put them into her pocket. She wanted to look at them, hold them, feel them, be with them in private. She needed to figure out what to do about this legacy he was creating in her name that she now saw was greedy and destructive to others and the earth. Here the dream ended. In the process of individuation, Marie-Louise von Franz discussed stones as symbols of the self. Humans collect stones without knowing why, quote, as if they held a living mystery that fascinates us, she wrote. Stones are, quote, the experience of something eternal, unquote, that we can have, quote, in those moments we feel immortal and unalterable. Pebbles are worn smooth and round in a long process of erosion by currents, tides, and waves of the feminine element of water, realm of feeling. Pebbles evoke solidity, calm, and resilience, and each are as unique as an individual soul. In the dream, the mother is absent, inferred only in the daughter's birth. From this day forward, the father extracts stones from Mother Earth as though by cesarean section and steals them away, leaving behind collapse, destruction, and barrenness. He insists this is for his daughter, for the feminine, but it becomes clear his motives are selfish, to hoard, bury, and suppress the gifts of the feminine in his own domain. Marion Woodman described patriarchy as, quote, a culture whose driving force is power. Individuals within the culture are driven to seek control over others and themselves in an inhuman desire for perfection, unquote. The dream ends with the dawning of awakening as the daughter begins to question her unconscious complicity with the father. As Trump's second term takes shape, it seems we have only gone backward in the face of continued climate atrocities, wars, denigration of human rights, oppression, and intolerance, not to mention new talk of taking over other countries and extorting minerals from them. How do we extricate ourselves from the self-righteousness and greed of this patriarchy? This dream to me suggests that the task, as painstaking and seemingly hopeless as fairy tales show such tasks to be, is for those of us living within this moment to awaken to the subtle, creative, receptive, intuitive, chaotic power of the feminine and allow it to aid us in outmaneuvering the father to return it stone by stone to the world. Thank you.